episode of the Saturday Shade. I'm your host, Nene Kabutey. And on today's topic, we are talking about blood covenants. I don't know about y'all, but I'm not doing that shit. I don't know about y'all, but people have done it before. I've seen it in movies. I know people have actually done it in real life. But to talk about this conversation, I have to bring in some people, some of my favorite people. You know, once you end up on this podcast, you're on one of my favorites. So if you don't, that's on you. But so I'm gonna welcome back Willie. You know, he's always here. I have for the first time on my podcast, I have Miss Delali as well. Woo woo woo! And I have a good old friend of mine. We've been friends for over 20 years. I can't believe I'm actually saying this, but hey,
wow!
It's all the way from Italy, we have Majida. Well, welcome, guys, to this episode. But viewers at home, don't forget to join the hashtag in the conversation using Saturday Shade. On Twitter, SS with Kabutey. On IG, Saturday Shade. And please do not forget to hashtag, like I said, Saturday Shade. And a shout out to Tisa Freak, you know. Gotta rep the t-shirts, you know.
Oh, wow.
Check them out on IG, Tisa Freak Africa, you know. You check them out as well. But are you guys ready to have this conversation that I'm just like,
Yes, indeed.
So my first question
Yes, we are.
What do you think, or what is your idea of a blood covenant?
Who's going for this? Who's gonna start?
Yes, Will, it sounded like he.
Backstory.
Yeah.
Okay. So, I mean, most Africans would know this because, you know, if you've watched a lot of Nigerian movies, you know about people doing this back in the day. It's a way of kind of like, you know, staying together. That's what the idea was, you know. But I realized during most of those movies, let's say one person dies, the other person's like still alive, and if they want to move on in life, it happens because like they start having like, you know, nightmares or shit doesn't go well. And I'm like, do I really want to put myself in this situation? Because, you know, we've all seen people getting married, and it's like for better, for worse. But if the person dies, you got to move on with your life. But at the same time, you have a blood covenant with somebody who's dead and gone. But that little motherfucker life, what are you going to do?
Your life.
Right, not run for your life. Well, I'm going to say this. Before we get into the movies and what it is today, I did a blood covenant from a biblical standpoint. And just kind of because, you know, I'm a performing artist, I know that art really does mimic real life. And I also know that it can also fantasize or turn or evolve ideas and concepts into something else. But I looked at it initially going to get an understanding. And I know that blood signifies life. I know covenants are the agreement. So I think of the agreement of life, like you were talking about with the marriages. But I go all the way back to the story of Adam and Eve. And when Adam, he tried to cover himself with the figs, right?
It's a feature for me.
Come on.
It didn't suffice.
Yeah. So
when God covered them, he used animal skins. Mm-hmm. Well, he got to kill the animal. And so that's what I said. That personally to me was the first shedding where God covered Adam and his sin, and he also had an agreement with him, and so that I'll cover you even in your sin, but there was still blood in order to cover his people. So if I had to start at the beginning of that, that's where I would start in understanding what that is. I do believe that it is a serious thing. But like I said, people take it, evolve it, and make it to them to fit however they want. When I looked into that, I'm always looking for the foundation. And to me, God is always the foundation. So I looked at that.
Okay.
Yeah.
I see what she did with that part.
When you put it like that, that's completely different than
what these little motherfuckers doing on the planet.
That's completely different. But I get that standpoint. But that other one, I cut my thinking. We're not binding like this. So we're not doing that.
But you have to look at the why behind it.
Yeah.
Why is it? What does blood symbolize? What is a covenant?
Yeah.
And so, like I said, you take it to fit what you need it to fit.
Yeah.
So making a blood covenant with a deity in so that I can receive, if I'm making a soul tie, an eternal life tie with a deity to receive something in this life, then what do I have to do to get it?
Yeah.
Wow.
Is it whether it's shed in my houses, there's still blood still has to be shed. So it's the why behind the blood covenant, or why behind whatever they're doing.
She give a whole different perspective, y'all.
Yeah, you are getting a whole different perspective.
Yeah. Because I also looked at it myself from a religious point of view. And I think, like she said, it's an agreement. But this is something more or less like you trying to stay committed to a particular relationship. So religiously, I'm from an Islamic background. So I would say it's something that is forbidden. All right. And the first covenant started with Adam and Eve. Then it went down to Abraham. Then it went down to Moses. And then, it went down.
Oh, y'all just preaching.
What happens? No, but seriously, what happens is that today, or what we culturally understood it, or we've misunderstood it, is when God wanted to do this, he didn't say you should mix any blood. He said, I'm going to cover you. Or he said, I am making this promise to all the creatures, and I'm bringing Adam and Eve, or let's say humankind, to life.
Yeah.
Then he moved on to Abraham, and he said, I need you to find a goat, a sheep, and make a sacrifice to me. He said, go get the blood and drink it. Go get the blood and mix it with someone else.
That's too much. I ain't drinking nobody's blood.
Yeah.
You understand? So I think that people have actually, like you said, Delali said, people have made it what they wanted.
For
but
their own
for their own
whatever.
Exactly. Yeah. In any sense, I don't think that blood covenant, the way we do it today, or the way we practice it some 20 years ago, or 10 years or 30 years ago, is what it actually meant, or it was what it's actually meant to be. So from a religious point of view, I don't think that that's something that is acceptable. I think it's forbidden. From, let's say, the Christian point of view, I think it's also forbidden, because if you look in the Bible, Genesis or wherever that you state, like, Moses, Abraham, and all those people, it doesn't say you should mix blood with anyone. So it's actually forbidden.
Yeah.
And socially, if you ask me, it's, I don't know, people frown upon it. So, my personal perspective, or should I say my personal thoughts should be, it's the dumbest thing anyone could do.
Hello, it's dumb. I'm not doing that.
Yeah, no offense, but then it's just something
I'm offense to y'all. It's dumb. I'm not doing it.
What exactly are you looking for? If you're going to have a relationship with someone, there are certain relationships. Maybe is it love? Is it commitment? Is it whatever you can think about in your relationship goals? Why do I have to mix my blood to prove that to you? It doesn't make sense. So yeah. Kabutey, you said something like, if I die, what happens to you? And we saw it in the movies, and it was the scariest thing. For me, I don't like pain, and I can't imagine the fact that blood just, I don't know. Sometimes I'm a woman, so I shouldn't be saying this, but honestly, I just can't get used to the fact that I see blood. I don't want to see it. I don't want to see it. So
shit, I can barely even stop my own blood, so.
No. So if, let's say, I'm supposed to be with you as a boyfriend or a girlfriend or whatever it is, and then you are requiring that I take your blood or we mix, dude, it's not happening. All right,
it's a no.
Yeah, I think that we live in a world, and we're in a generation of people to where we misconstrue it, and we kind of twist it of what it's supposed to be. And I think that for me, when we talk about blood covenants, when you come from the religious perspective of it and the point of view, I'm with it. But on the side of saying like, okay, we're going to do this, for I'm not inviting those kind of spirits with me. Okay.
Not at all.
I don't want those
No
kind of
invites.
because one thing for sure and two things for certain, spirits stick with you.
Yeah.
And I don't want those kind of spirits with me, surrounding me and encompassing me, because that is just, that's it's a no for me.
It's just black.
It's funny you said something about marriage, and I could not find it. So if anyone's out there and they're listening, and you actually know a little bit about this or know of any books or videos that talk about this, please share it, because I looked for it and I couldn't find it. I heard what marriage was, or what the ceremony was before it is like it is now. And I hope I'm not lying. The gentleman was talking about how it used to be the husband and the wife came down the aisle together, but down the aisle, you know how we roll out, but that initially it was blood. That it was blood that was shaken down the aisle, and yes, and that they
again.
Yeah. So I looked for this and I said, is this true? I was like, is this true? Oh my God, is this true? So if anybody knows it, please tell me, because I want to find.
I had a question,
Are you talking about the petals, like the blood is replacing the petals, like the rose petals or the flower petals that they actually drop on the ground? Is that what you mean?
Yes.
That was blood?
Yeah, so it was blood down the aisle, and that the husband and the wife would walk down that aisle together, symbol of a covenant, other than because remember back in the day women had to be virgins, so that when you consummate that marriage, that you break that hymen. And that is the blood covenant between you and your husband. Because remember, that was a big thing. If you weren't bleeding on them sheets and you couldn't show proof, like that was a problem.
Okay, so the other question is, whose blood was that?
Whose blood? I was going to ask that.
Oh, I think it was like an animal's blood. I don't think it was a person's blood. Oh, okay. But I wanted to look it up to see the validity of it and if it was really true. Like, what was the actual ceremony? But I couldn't.
The question is, who's having that conversation to even let that happen?
Oh, talking about to hear about it?
Yeah,
I was listening. I was actually listening to a minister talking about different types of covenants, because I'm researching. Right, and we got this show. I want to make sure I know a little something, but mind myself. So I was just different people talk about what blood covenants were and different types of blood covenants and all of that, and that was one that was mentioned. But when I tried to look it up, I couldn't find.
No. I'm all for making a covenant before God. Yes. I don't want blood involved. The covenant before God, but not blood.
Okay, so I think that, for Muslims, it's inevitable because we have this huge ceremony. We call it the Eid al-Adha. A lot of people try to call it the big Salah. Like, it's a big thing. It's one festival that the festival of sacrifice.
Is that a 40 days fast?
No, that's Ramadan.
That's Ramadan. Okay.
Now, so currently we are in the Ramadan period. It's like a 30-day fast. 30 days. What happened to your religious and moral education classes?
I was going to say, hold on. I'm like, do you remember when we were back so we actually went to the boarding school, right, for a very long time. So, like they have food to eat like early in the morning before it starts at 6 a.m., right? That's when the fast starts, right? Sunrise. Right. Listen, the non-Muslims will be eating as well, mind you. I miss those days, trust me. Yeah, I'm sorry.
After Ramadan kind of symbolizes the year. Okay, so after, let's say, 2 months and some days, we now celebrate this festival of sacrifice, just like Abraham. So it's just a teeny tiny bit difference in the sense that Christians believe Isaac was supposed to be sacrificed. Muslims believe Ishmael was the one supposed to be sacrificed. That's the difference. I understand that the blood or a covenant with God, it's for purity, it's to ask for forgiveness and all that. So these are things that we still practice today, but has nothing to do with someone mixing the blood or drinking the blood.
Yeah.
Not at all. So yeah, the blood is something that irks me myself, but then I don't have to see it. You know, the elders and then all those people who are supposed to do those sacrifices on our behalf. So when it's done, the meat is shared amongst people who don't have, who can afford. If, let's say, for instance, you have some problems, you want to just, you know, offer some sacrifice, like it was in the Bible. It's the same. You raise something to the God for forgiveness, ask God for atonements and all kinds of things. Yes, but just thank God that we are born today. I mean, we were born today in this era. We don't have to go through all those, you know, walking in blood. Things. But I don't know, but it's crazy. I'm not saying that it's something that we don't do, and we still do it up until today, but it's a different covenant. It's not
absolutely,
it's not mixing bloods to show your I don't know what.
I was like, you know, and I think for I mean, actually, Delali and Majida as well. Like we've said, no, those movies actually, as much as it was like very gross to watch it, thinking about it now, it's like doing this shit. And I know someone who did it in my family right now, and I'm like,
oh no,
that's
how
crazy.
Dumb can you be? And they have a baby, and I mean, allegedly, you know, they're having issues right now with the baby. That I'm like,
you see,
not allegedly.
So once
you not allegedly
taking over, but once you start things like this, like it's just like inviting some negative energy.
Yeah,
because we're supposed to add some blood. Something like, you know, it makes the whole thing barbaric one way or the other. For me, it's just, so if I'm supposed to be in a relationship with you and then you're asking me to do something like that, it means that you don't want us to be together. That's it. It just doesn't make sense because I feel that there are going to be ramifications, and maybe my kids will understand. And I don't want any of my decisions to affect the next generation. No. I can't do that. I really can't afford that.
Yeah,
but it makes me think about there are those who believe they're vampires, right? And so
those ones, like those,
yeah, they feel that they have to go. Look at Willie's face. They feel they have to go into all of these things, and you know, it's just it all boils down to the belief of people.
Yeah, and I think Willie was actually talking about what's called the soul ties, right? You want to explain?
Okay. No, I think that's what, when we look at I don't want to say worldly because I ain't trying to sound like I'm holier than thou. When we look at a worldly perspective, that comes with like so who you are sexually active with, and once you break apart from being with them, their energy never leaves you and you feel stagnant, and that's that spirit that I'm talking about.
Yes, that's true.
It's certain things that I just don't want. I don't blood. Only covenant I want is and the only covenant I want to be mixed with blood is Jesus' blood. That's it for me. Anything Jesus. I don't want. But yeah, it's from a worldly perspective. When you talk about blood covenants, it's almost equivalent to soul ties, in a sense. When we look at the worldly perspective, not the religious one. Yeah. When we talk and the perspective that we're coming from and how Delali explained it, I understand that part. But when we look at how people, like I said, people have misconstrued what things really mean and what certain ceremonies and values mean, people have really taken a turn on these things.
Yeah, honestly, I think most people don't realize this, but the people kind of like sleep around with different people, right? That is actually a way of soul ties. I don't think they realize, but it is.
I can't. Let me shut up.
I want to go to sleep at night and go to bed.
Hello, I don't have time for your spirit to be.
That's why I am genuinely concerned for the people who do all these OnlyFans stuff, okay? Because they always say, "Oh, let's collaborate."
Good night. Good night. Good night.
Listen, these people are getting paid. They are getting paid.
Well, you getting paid in money, but you're like,
listen.
it's you don't listen. I know our parents actually
people,
teach us.
always people listen for the love of money. People will sell their soul for the love.
Come on, OJs.
Oh.
Wait, is that the OJ?
For the love of money.
Was it the OJ?
I think so. It is, right?
Oh, I feel OJ. She said, "Yeah, right."
Yeah, that was Delali. That was the OJ's, right?
I was doing the newer version with Snoop Dogg. I was doing the newer version.
I thought you did OJ's. I was like,
we'll just go what we know.
With Snoop.
No, but that's good because I feel like and I actually talked about this on my sleeping on multiple people. You don't realize you carry a lot of like the baggage and shit they come with you, and like.
Go ahead.
I was like, maybe years down, like maybe months, you realize you're actually having these characteristics, and you're like, what the hell is happening? But you don't realize it's from what you did behind closed doors. The doors like clink, 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 and you were in there, okay? And now you got to deal with that. I said what I said.
This is why I say, right, I don't invite many people into my home. Because when people come into your home, they take things. And it's not always physically taking something, but they take a little bit of peace. They take a little bit of joy. They take a little bit of happiness, let alone invite temple, okay? Because this is a temple.
Come on, temple.
And let alone, I'm not going to invite you in my house, let alone invite you into this sacred temple, okay? No matter how it is, it's still a temple. But yeah, you have to be careful with the people that, and this goes sexually, non-sexually. You have to be careful with the people that you surround and you align yourself with, because, like you said, Martin, that energy will start to rub off on you in many different ways, and you look up 3 months down the line and you're not recognizing who you are because that person's energy and has made you do a 180, because we got to stop saying 360, because 360 means we back in the same place. I know it sounds cute to say I did a 360. No, baby, that means you went back in the same place. You did a 180, which means that you are now in a different space in your life.
That's true.
I have
Go
a
ahead.
question.
Yes.
Because we're talking about whether it be blood covenant or just tying yourself with someone. Do you all believe that, or do you all believe, like when we're talking about the movies, and a lot of times we see it in our African movies and things, or even, and want to mix and combine, do you believe that there is some type of connection happening? Or do you just think maybe they're just doing something? They just, it's just like a regular ceremony. Do you actually believe that there's some type of spiritual something happening?
It's because I don't believe anything is really happening. But when it comes to spiritual side, I'm like, yeah, I'm probably mixing something you don't even know about.
Yeah, for me, like I said, like you said, it's neither here nor there. For me, I'm gonna be honest with you. The first time I realized I could not deal with people cutting and watching blood, this is gonna sound crazy. I was watching The Color Purple, and I was like, I cannot do this. I was like, oh no, I'm out. I'm checking out. I can't do this. Like, no, I can't do it. But like, I'm not gonna say because I want to be respectful of people's beliefs, and I don't want to demean and discredit how people believe in things. So I'm gonna say, for me, it's neither here nor there. Like, if that's what you believe, me, who are me to tell you that what you believe is not true? So I'm gonna be neutral in this situation.
Okay, Majida, what do you think?
What do you think?
I don't know. I think you guys have said it all. It all boils down. It boils down to the fact that this is what you believe, and someone might see it as, okay, well, this is weird, but you believe in it, right? So, and it works for you. And then that's the thing. It's very powerful. Once you believe in something, it actually consumes you. Ooh. It does. So whatever someone else is telling you, even if it's logic, common logic, you'd never understand it. So, I mean, I don't know what to say, but then my personal take would be that I don't think that people understand a lot of things that's going on around them. We try to have some sort of like a half-baked concept or understanding of things that are happening. So me looking at things is real. It's someone else's imagination, and the person is actually bringing to life. So I think I'll just sit on the fence here because I don't want to disrespect anyone. I don't know, you guys, I'm sure all of you are Christians. I'm a Muslim, right? And that's where it is. So I'll tell you something about Islam and be like, no, I don't. Tell me something about Christianity. I was like, nah, that's not right. But what I know is we just have to tolerate each other. You believe in this, go ahead and believe it. I believe in mine, I'm going to go ahead and believe in mine.
And let's not say tolerate, right? Let's say we have to respect each other. I have to respect you enough that even if I don't agree with or understand your perspective, I respect you enough to say, you know what? As for me in my house, we don't agree with this, but I see your perspective. And I think that a lot of times that's how I fall with people. I respect your opinion. I respect what you do, even though I may not agree with that. Like you were saying, when we kind of get to that place of respect, it makes things better. Because like I said, you don't have to understand everything that someone
Absolutely.
does.
Yeah.
But you have to have enough human respect for them to say, it don't work for me, but I'm
Work for you. You go to sleep at night.
As long as you can sleep.
Yeah.
Because
I can go to sleep
on this pillow top.
Hello, somebody.
As long as you can sleep well at night with what you're doing, I'm here for it.
Listen, wow. This was deep. I'm like, I didn't even think we were going to get to this. And I'm like, dang. This was, whew.
I need to go open my Bible.
But Majida, I'm really. I said your name correctly.
Majida.
Okay, I said it right that time.
Yeah.
Majida. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. I was very intrigued when you were talking about. I forgot the name you said. The sacrifice.
Ramadan?
No, not Ramadan.
It'll
Okay. I'm just interested in, because I hear similarities, I hear similarities in all of that. And I take a lot of things from a biblical standpoint, but I love hearing a different beliefs. And I try not to say religion because I think religion is such a divisive tool. It's one of those things that divide us. And, I always say, and it's funny, and I make Christians mad. I'm not a Christian, but I do believe in Jesus. but that's because that's other stuff. That's neither here nor there.
And that's because it comes with a bad rap. But
it's not. So interested in hearing and learning about that, because to me, I hear similarities about atonement and those things that we do just to atone or to cleanse when we feel that we fall as humans, so new. So you've opened my eyes to something that I'm probably gonna say, I need your information. I want to talk to you.
It's so crazy that you said that.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. I have a friend who is Muslim, and this is kind of like, I don't want to sound ignorant, but this is kind of like my first Muslim. So when he's saying things to me, like you said, there's so many similarities that I'm like you even, and I forgive me if I have not pronounced your name. I believe in pronouncing people's names correctly. And I don't want to mess it up because it is so beautiful. And I don't want to mess it up. But like you were saying, there's so many similarities across the board. I hate to use this word, but religions, there's so many different similarities. And I think that, like you said, once we all begin to see, like, okay, you believe that you believe that, the person that you serve or the God that you serve wanted Abraham to do this, and you believe that Ishmael. So it's the same people, but it's like respect that we have to have, and we have to have that respect because there are so many similarities across the board that we don't even know. But when you take the time to open your mind and you begin to educate yourselves, you begin to see people's perspectives and people's outlooks on things. And I think that is the one thing that life has taught me, is that everybody, this thing called life together, you know, Delali may have one certain type of feelings, I may have another, but I respect what she thinks and I respect her perspective and her point of view and her outlook on things. And, you know, I think it makes, once we get to that place, it makes for a better world.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I just want to say thank y'all so much for making this episode an exciting one. I'm like, listening. So if you're out there doing some dumb stuff, just get it together, okay? Because it's
not about Lil Nas X shoe.
That's a whole, you know what? That's a whole different conversation by itself. That we are going to probably have, okay?
I'm tickled, y'all. That thing tickles me. That thing tickles me. Bless his heart.
Yeah. Yeah, I like the creativity, but
yeah.
I was going to say something. You know, sorry to cut in, but I was just saying, sometimes we do some of these dumb things because we believe we are in love. Or are you there?
Oh,
Okay, I thought Willie was frozen because he was like just staring there.
No, he was just looking.
Yeah, so I'm saying that we just do some dumb stuff just because we claim to be in love. You know, the lust or infatuations and stuff like that. And I believe that all of you all remember your first loves, right?
I try not to.
You don't?
I try not to.
I remember.
I want nothing. I don't want none.
I remember my first love.
I want to remember mine.
Okay, so it's something that carries on with you till I think you die, really. And for sure, these are things that would let you understand that nothing is. If let's say those people were meant to be, we'll be with them now. I mean, some people are lucky to actually still be with them or end up with them. That's okay. But at an early age, if you fall in love with someone and all you know is that you want to love this person, you want to show this person commitment, you want to show this person that you adore, and you want to create a bond. For any reason at all, in your naivety, propose blood covenant. Trust me, I think that you be getting towards it because you don't know enough. But today we know and we understand it's something that we don't want to do. Yes, fear of blood, fear of pain, all kinds of things come into play. You now understand. I mean, let's say the real concept of love.
Behind
you wouldn't want something like that. So for me, I'll just say all those who are watching out there, who are young and supposedly naive, seriously, if you
I know what you mean.
If you're ever considering to have a blood covenant, just to prove that, please don't do it because it's the dumbest thing you ever do because you'll regret it.
And that's how. Thank you. And that's how we're going to end on this episode because you're going to regret it down the line somewhere. Okay. Thank you guys so much for joining this episode. It was exciting. I mean, I hope listeners and viewers are actually going to watch this, listen to what we're trying to convey. And if they don't get it, if you get upset at me, I sure don't give a damn. So that's fine. That's your own problem. Go argue with your shadow, okay? Not with me. Because I have a good day and I'm going to say what I want to say. But anyway, thank y'all so much. I just want to say thank you guys for always tuning in to listen, to watch the Saturday Shade. Don't forget to follow us on Twitter. Like I always say, SSN Saturday Shade. And always remember, Saturday Shade is all about the fun.